I wasn't going to record the installation of this because this is a final stretch and I already have a video installing the Mishimoto's oil coolers. However, one of y'all wanted to see the installation of the SakeBomb smart coolers. It's not gonna be any change, but I guess he wants to see the room and the fitment, I guess, of the thermometer above the oil coolers. So that's what we are going to do it now. I got a bunch of extra stuff that is not related, but this is just some of the stuff that I need to finish the car, some wiring stuff that I need to do. I still have to install the VSS front transmission, fuel pump and all the stuff. And then I don't know what happened in Texas, but the temperature dropped to 39. So I'm having the garage door closed. So the illumination of this video is not gonna be that good, but hopefully it still helps. So this is what he sent me. New lines, which they look more fancy of the one that I have. The brackets for the oil coolers. These are the same rows, I think 18 rows I wanna say. That's the one that I have. So I don't know if the new brackets are worth to install. I guess we wanna see. I don't know if the Setrab oil coolers have different brackets or different measurements. We'll see. But the main thing on this are these beauties. I think I have one open already. Yep. Somebody gonna look at this. Pretty nice billet thermostat. And it's individual. Each cooler have its own. Some of the hardware needed and the two oil coolers. So let's get started. Here they are. This is my old setup. These are the lines that I did at that time, and that's the thermostat. The only thing that sucks is that I purchased the JP3 Motorsport bracket to prevent the fittings to get loose due to vibration. So I just installed it and never got to use it. But here's the new setup. These are the brackets. The reason why I want to utilize the brackets that I had, those were from Banzai, was because the angle and everything match the bumper. And I don't know, if I install these, then I'll have to go to the shed and then pull out the bumper. I mean, I'm almost done with the car anyway, so the bumper have to go in pretty soon. But then I'll have to play again with this to make sure, removing the bumper, putting back in, and so on and so forth. So I think these have similar specs. So from bracket to bracket, it's almost 5 3/4. On the Setrab ones, and on the Mishimoto ones, they're kind of 5 1/2, so a little bit smaller. However, the bracket has some play that you can adjust. And thickness, these one have 2 inches, and the Setrab are 2 inches as well. So the thickness is the same. Setrabs are a little bit higher or taller. The only difference is this doesn't have the fittings sticking out, so you just have the hole. But the thermostat comes with the fitting that goes there. So also the lines, I think this is all I need. So hopefully I don't have to create another line and everything is just plug and play. There's some spacers over there. So let me install the thermostats. Man, these things are really, really good. Fancy as hell. So this is the biggest difference. It's just thermostat individually per oil cooler. And this is the way that the car came from factory versus one thermostat in the middle. I never had an issue with vibration and stuff, but I've seen other people getting stranded due to the fitting getting loose and then losing all pressure. So let me see if this setup is a lot cleaner than the one that I made. The biggest benefit of these thermostats are that are individual per oil cooler. So technically, if I'm not mistaken, the oil should be bypassed from both oil cooler. If the oil is still cold in a cold start, then the oil should go to one oil cooler until it get or reach certain temperature, and then if the oil gets like really high, then both oil coolers or thermostat should open. At least that's my understanding. I feel like a DJ. Even though there's no instructions, the whole assembly or installation is pretty straightforward. The only thing that I struggled a little bit was to try to identify how the brackets were supposed to be mounted. At the end, I just ended up utilizing my brackets, and specifically because the RE Mamiya bumper has an indentation in both sides. And I remember that I struggled trying to identify how I was able to get each oil cooler from each side inside of that indentation. So everything worked out with my previous setup, and yeah, I just used them. And here they are. I'll be honest with you, I might leave the brackets that I already had installed. The only thing to note is that the oil coolers have like a small tab here. So it just prevent this bracket to move a little bit to my right. So it's in a freaking angle there that is driving me nuts. I'm assuming the brackets go to this stud right there. But again, I have my own setup with some spacers, and it was working perfectly. The lines are installed. Let me go underneath the car so I can show you. So what I did, the longest one that have thread on both sides, I put them on the outer port of the smart cooler because this line is long, and yeah, try to minimize. I don't know, I sent an email to see if there's a specific inlet port and outer port. So as soon as he responds, then I'll modify it. But then this one came with a straight AN fitting. So I'm assuming this one goes straight to the front cover. Right now, let's see if I can show you. I don't have a 90 there, I have a straight. So I either need to get a 90 degree and then another male to male fitting and then put this there. Or the engine that I purchased, that I use some parts, came with this banjo. The only thing is that I can't find an end bolt that goes in the middle. But I can use this and then find two copper washers and then put it like that, and then that straight will fit perfectly. Right now, everything is loose. I just wanted to see how the lines go and then if my brackets work. I'm gonna clean everything. It has a little bit oil or like a little bit oil, and then I grab some dust and stuff. So I'm gonna remove the coolers, clean the area, and then I'll be able to install them once I get the bumper in, and then I can identify the vents to try to maximize the area. This is one of the reasons why I didn't go with bigger rows, because the 19 row fit perfectly on the bumper. At least the Mishimoto's did. And I don't track the car. So these should be perfect, especially now with the smart coil or thermostatic smart coolers. And then the last one goes from there all the way to the old pedestal. And this is where it is. I run it underneath my coils, try to tuck it a little bit, and then I can just put it there. No questions asked. Like how it was.